Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Great Mistakes Podcast. Today, we're going to be covering a interestingly classified movie, Faces of Death, 2026.
Here at Kino Moderation, we protect people. The young, the innocent. When you come across content that violates policy, flag it and move on. You may be tempted to look into it outside of work, but don't even think about it if you can help it.
Now it is time to witness the many faces of death.
And as per usual, your boys Starch and Slim are going to give you a rundown, and then Slim's going to hit us with a general overview of what you can expect for this podcast.
Yeah, a quick rundown of Faces of Death. The main character, Margot, played by Barbie Ferreira, she works at the content situation at Kino, which is basically like a TikTok equivalent. And she goes through videos and just kind of clicks reported videos from users of whether or not it should be removed from the website or not. And she comes across what she believes to be snuff films, and we kind of go over from there.
Yes, and then obviously, I think they used the footage from the original Faces of Death, which was created, a couple of years ago. Not a couple of years ago. It was created at least 20-something years ago, and people thought it was a genuine, actual snuff film.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of like the play on the requel in this capacity. Obviously, stepping outside of this frontier, we would talk about our theater experience, but none of us saw this absolute horrid garbage monster in the theaters. But we did just witness the New York Knicks win the NBA Finals. So before we get into the movie, this is much more important. We have to talk about this. How do you feel coming into Game 5, New York Knicks versus the Spurs?
I think I was going for the Spurs for the most of the time. Like I like Wemby. I was rooting for him. I seen, he it seems like he kind of stepped into like a villain role for this series, and I was kind of fucking with it.
Yes.
But I guess the good guys lie within Jalen Brunson dropping 45 fucking points in a deciding finals run game, the last game. That was the first time that's ever happened. The GOAT. Yeah, not the GOAT. Okay, he's the best player right now. I'm not gonna go too crazy, but yeah.
It's just like for a player that was consistently slept on for not only their entire career, but for the past two playoff series, this is an incredible performance. I mean, if this is a way to demonstrate the easiest version of Jalen Brunson as a significant force to be reckoned with, I mean, you're not just putting up against a regular playoff team. This isn't a Pacer series, this isn't an OKC series. You're going up against the guys that beat the previous NBA Finals champions, and then he's a 7-something foot tall fucking freak of nature, like an absolute wonder of genetics. So to beat both of those things, I mean, that's it's literally they earned it. They literally earned it. It wasn't it wasn't BS. It wasn't it should have gone this way. It was nah, man, they stomped them.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, you talking the Spurs, they a big bad. This is their first time in the playoffs in years. Everybody's younger than New York. Every single player, they were going against 28-year-olds, and they're all 22, just balling.
Of course, they're not going against a team that's been obviously a finals contender or a finals winner for the past 5 championships or anything like that. But it is it's just they're definitively an absolutely disgusting team. They're just amazing. The Spurs did well in the regular season. They did well in the regular season the first year Wemby was playing. I mean, this is his second year in the league, and he's 22 years old.
They missed the playoffs in the first season he played.
Yes, but I think for him being their all-star literally straight off of the draft, I think they did pretty good. Not necessarily comparatively to other teams, but relative to himself. But yeah, I think that was incredible. Also, watching New York become a John Carpenter film was pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, just Escape from New York. Yeah, that's how the Spurs fans felt, But thank God that game did not take place in New York. I think they ended it in San Antonio. So
yeah,
if it ended in New York, man,
it would have been Jalen Brunson surfing the crowd with Aki or something.
Yeah, Aki, Timothy Chalamet, Ben Stiller, Tracy Morgan, all of them.
Graba, Spike Lee,
yes,
the whole thing.
ASAP Rocky. Yeah.
Yeah, but all right. So now we can guess. I guess we could dive back in this movie. So, how about we talk
Yeah.
about couch experience instead of a theater experience? Since we saw this on streaming services, what was your
Yeah.
what was your setup looking like?
So my setup was really watching this instead of watching the Knicks win the NBA championship. So I was,
sorry.
it's okay. I would just set up on the couch, you know. I was just doing my thing. For the first like couple, I would say the first half of the movie, like it had me, and like on the later second half, I was like, oh, this is a little goofy. Like
It's exactly.
it is very goofy. Like I spoke to you, you called me like 30 minutes into the film, and I was like, I'm enjoying this. And you were like, yeah, just wait. And I was like, I can't see it like really, you know, changing too much to where I would kind of change my mind, but it did. And I wasn't really happy about that. There's some particular scenes where I was just like, it was just highly unrealistic. And I don't know. By the way, this director, man, I don't know. Let me get your couch experience as well before we go into that.
All right, so couch experience was pretty straightforward. So I remember seeing the marketing material for this on TikTok and stuff, and I was like, oh, the concept of a final girl that is a content admin is really exciting, especially in 2026. Especially given that they use like the original film, which I had never seen before this. So the setup was pretty golden. I mean, you have a really unique situation. It almost feels like, is this A24?
No, this is not.
Oh, is it Shudder?
No, this is. Yeah, I think it was Shudder. It's like an independent film company.
Okay. The
IFC. Yeah.
But in any case, like the premise was something like it's right up our alley with you know, with the unconventional stuff. And so I'm sitting there, and you know, like I said, first 30 minutes is going really well for me. I'm liking how it's like kind of like a mystery thriller, trying to solve like what's going on with this stuff. And then it becomes spoiler warning, by the way, for the entire movie. It becomes a extremely underwhelming, poorly acted, poorly written Netflix serial killer movie. Like all of the Amazon Prime, Netflix, Peacock, like slasher recreations they try to make, like Prom Queens, like just like it's like they all look the same. They're all acted. But then the thing that makes this one worse is like this one has actors we recognize. Like we have two significant actors from TV in the past like 10 years. We've got Barbie from Euphoria season 1, and we've got Billy from Stranger Things.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Like Dacker. I was just wondering if you know.
Oh no,
Dacker Montgomery. Yeah. Yeah. His acting. How'd you feel?
It was horrible.
I feel like it was just
and I've seen him play like a much more complicated role in Stranger Things. When he's like
he killed it.
Yeah, like, you know, he's like this raging late 80s monstrosity. But in this, it's just like he's trying to pretend to be crazy, and I'm not buying it because it's not like it's literally just like a classic. If you told him like I'm not dunking on him this hard, but if you asked an 8-year-old what a crazy person looked like, that's what they would do. It was way over the top. It wasn't dialed in at all. Also, his
screaming.
Yeah, and then his like outfit, instead of being iconic, just looks silly to me because like he was trying to imitate like the cover of the Faces of Death thing, which is pointless. The Faces of Death concept works a lot better as like a jigsaw concept where you don't see the person doing the kidnapping or the trapping until like the end of the movie. The problem with this one is you see him way too early on, and then like I said, it just becomes like a cat and mouse slasher movie. Just like what's the one with the blind guy? You know what I'm talking about? The old.
I know what you're talking about. Like they're in like the basement. It's something like Hush. Why am I blanking on this?
Correct, but anyway,
we'll think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. But just like that, yeah. So bad couch experience.
Yeah, even that was just better than this. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just straight up like the first one was just better than this. But yeah, his character was just like screaming and just the outfit, like that tight like white shirt he would wear. I'm like, man. Every time I saw him in it, it was just like, man, he looks so fucking goofy. Like I just couldn't take him seriously. And then as soon as we see him, like I guess we were supposed to immediately like know he's like the villain, and like his whole like aspirations, like the people want this. I gotta like he's not getting anything. I mean, I guess he is getting like the way he responds to like messages online is really funny. Like I did enjoy that because he's like really thinking about it. He's like, man, should I put like 3 question marks or 1 question mark? You know what? I'm gonna do two, and boom, like that's how he is, and it just don't work. I mean, that kind of worked for me, but just everything about his character, his motivations, it was just goofy in the least bit, like in the most part. I mean, but yeah, I did like Barbie's character, like Margot, like her just going through these videos because like her past and just making one of those stupid TikTok videos and that got her like her actual sister killed. I thought that was like kind of compelling because we don't really see too many of those like aftermath of those kind of like situations, and she's just known as Train Girl, and that is real. Like people just like Haktua if she gets seen in public. Oh, that's Haktua girl.
Yeah,
like catch me outside.
That's the interesting thing is because this movie has such a good like over like a like blueprint for what it could be, because not a lot of movies, especially now, ironically, cover social media and like the dangers and horrors of it. I mean, most movies actually try to get rid of phones in any way they can. Like literally, they'll be like, first 5 minutes of the movie, you can't use your phone. The government's tracking us, so that way they can do the whole movie without cell phones. Or like horror movies, like they knock your service out. Like movies hate cell phones. So like this particular movie has a really good setup. And also, the main antagonist is he is either a network admin or a cybersecurity professional. So his ability to identify like his victims through the internet is real. He works for like
it's like a cellular company, like a phone service company,
right? So he could just put in like people's names and get their IPs, addresses, etc. It's horrifying. And then obviously like same with her, like you said. Recreating dangerous trends online and then actual consequences being beheld from that. So she's pretty much, and then there's like the criticism of the social media company because she's trying to escalate all of these cases to law enforcement because she thinks people are actually dying, but the company doesn't want the bad reputation from that. They want more like content out there that is performing well. So like, you see all these really cool concepts and ideas, and then like they just didn't know how to bring it home. So you get this terrible serial killer situation.
Yeah, like the second half just really takes away from like everything that they were kind of building towards. Even when he like kind of starts to like kidnap some of his victims, I guess like the news anchor and his son is like a little more like realistic of how he did it. But like when he kidnapped the influencer in like the public gym, I was just like, I guess you can get away with that, but I'm just trying like, how did you get that from like the gym or like the shower or wherever, the area that they were in, the locker room, to the car? Like that must be like I don't know, like 50 feet from like the door to car, and he just carrying her. I don't know, maybe he put her in something. It was just whatever. I kind of thought that was kind of unrealistic. I just hated how the dude acted, man. Not like actor, but like when he was just trying to act normal to get closer to people, especially like when he cut his hand to go to like the news anchor. He's like, "Hey, you need some help and all that? You want a beer?"
Yeah, that was actually funny. I was a fan of him pretending to be a regular person, but it was clearly like a Ted Bundy comp, or like in the beginning of Silence of the Lambs when the main antagonist kidnaps the politician's daughter. It's like that's, I don't know. It was just for, like I said, it was such an original concept. I'm so disappointed on how copy and paste the fucking rest of the movie was, and this character. Like they really just fumbled it into pieces.
Yeah. How'd you feel about the admin or like the manager, played by one of the guys from The Blackening? I think it was like the Republican.
Yes,
the main and
yes. What's his name in that movie? Clarence. It's either Clarence.
Clarence, Jermaine Fowler is the actor name.
That's hilarious.
Yes, he looks like, oh sorry, he looks like somebody from like a old like a black sitcom for some reason. And that's what his face reminds me of. But keep going.
He does look like a stunt double in Family Matters.
Okay.
No, that's funny that you say that. But in any case, I think he actually had the best performance in the movie. Kind of came in, hit the ball out of the park every time he was on screen. Perfectly portrayed like everyone's boss who kind of sold their morals for money. That archetype at least. And so I think he did a really good job. And every time he was talking, it was a little bit funny because he also tried to be like the cool, sociable person who'd be like, he would, because they're also friends. We find out later that, he got her that job. And so he's like, nah, you're overreacting. And then when obviously she presses it, he's like, literally stop. You know, I thought that was good.
Yeah, like I don't know what's up with like the denial. Like they put the black man in the role of like, oh, you like the gaslighter. Like this is not happening. It kind of reminded me of Smile when we have Jesse T. Usher, aka A Train, as the protagonist's husband, and he's just like, "Girl, what you talking about? Girl, you crazy? Rose, you crazy?" That's the entire time I was watching it. I'm like, man, why are they putting these black men in these gaslighting roles? Like, why can't they just believe them? But like, I don't know. I guess it's just
you might
job.
be onto something. You might be on.
What was he saying, bro? When they went to the lake, he was like lake house, lake party. He kept saying it, bro. It was so funny. Oh man, I forgot. I wish I wrote it down somewhere.
Oh, bro, when he was like, we're not at work right now. We're not talking about.
Yes,
this.
yes. She kind of like. It gets to a point where she just keeps bringing it up, like outside of work, and she's like looking stuff up on the dude, like her roommate's like laptop, and he's like, "You're freaking me out. You gotta stop." And then I love how much they use Reddit in the
Oh yes, for everything. Yeah.
Yes, man, I really do. For some reason, it doesn't really take it away. But like when she first makes that first post, there's like a guy who's like, "Oh, forensic analyst here,
bro." That's what whoever made this movie, whoever wrote it, is chronically online because everything was like it was nailed perfectly, bro.
Yes.
Yes.
Forensics analyst here. That blood spot looks pretty real to me.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, that is so realistic, man. Doctor here, lawyer here. That shit's so funny. How'd you feel about the Reddit being like kind of like the main like a propulsion of this like solving the mystery here?
It's perfect. Once again, exactly like bringing this kind of situation into the modern day. Like that's what you would do if you're not going to filter it through AI, unfortunately, because you know that's what a lot of people do. ChatGPT stuff. You're filtering it through Reddit. Because you do not have time to do real research. If this was like Ghostbusters or like I don't know, a murder mystery from like the 80s, 90s, someone would going to the library and there'd be like a research compilation, right? But now it's just like ask it the ether, and then you get like the collective consciousness of all of society through Reddit. So I think that was great. Also, the main villain making like a second account to agree with himself, fucking hilarious.
Oh, so that's KD. That's literally Katie, yes, man. Yes. Yeah, just like just a burner account.
Yes, man.
Yes. I was gonna say like the one thing they probably need is, you know, there should have been more people being like, "Oh, this is AI. This is AI." I should have saw more comments about that. Yeah. And then like especially like I would say the most egregious part of the film where she brings the cops to like the killer's house, and she's like, "That's where I came from," and he just starts gaslighting like, no, like she's fucking crazy. He should have been like, "Oh yeah, she's an AI. She's just an AI." He could have said anything, and the cops have been like, "Oh, okay, have a good day, sir," and then just take her away. So yeah, that was goofy.
Like because they keep insisting to come inside too. That's the other thing. So I'm like if y'all don't start escalating the situation, this woman is clearly battered, and she is telling you that, you know, like
I'm saying
this guy's demeanor when he's like, "Nah, you can't come in," you got to be like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah, like, sir, can you please turn off that fucking music that's blaring in the background, please? I would love that.
Yeah, it's like that's not suspicious.
Yeah, neighbors reported about 5 or 6 gunshots coming from the house. Was that you?
Is that a dead fucking body in the kitchen?
No, sir. Yeah. No. I just killed a deer. That's just that. Yeah. It's making his death rattles. Yeah. He literally. Is this just like Is this how it feels just to be a white man in America? Just say anything. Just be like, yeah. I'm just doing my shit, man.
There is an implication here in the movie that was what they intended to do, because he is in like a classic upper class suburb that obviously values trespassing more than anything else, and then he presents that extremely calm, like, you know, that's a crazy woman behavior, or like, am I right, guys? So I actually do think that they were trying to imply that with the scene.
Yeah, especially like Barbie. You think if Barbie was a guy, they would take it more serious. I mean, I guess that would be the assumption, right? Like they just don't believe her because she's, you know, woman doing woman things. But yeah, I just would think, the gunshots would just, I don't know, maybe it's Florida. They just used to that shit. Maybe he just shoots shit out his window all the time. There was nothing new. Oh, maybe this isn't the first time someone ran away. So they were just like, oh, okay, this is the same old.
That's just John's working again.
Yeah,
It's ass.
Yeah,
that's what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like we just cut like, even if we're cutting through like some of the scene, like they try to give him this iconic weapon, which is basically just to like incapacitate his victims, like the reloadable.
Oh, the fentanyl.
Yeah, the reloadable fentanyl.
It was like an insulin shot, right? That's what it looked like. Yeah.
And it's not a lightsaber. Like I'm not going to go to a convention with red contacts, a white mask, and a fucking insulin pen. So like the iconography there didn't work for me. Anytime he's kidnapping somebody and he's setting up the traps and he's like, he's literally cringy. Like I'm cringing when he gets super excited about like making a bro. When he went live, I almost turned the movie off. When he went live, and he's doing the weird ass angles and stuff like that, and like I'm like that could have been
the red eye contact, so you couldn't see. Like, yeah, that was just so goofy, man. He's like, yeah, this is what happens to your roommate when he's fucking mean to you. Like, it was giving just like 13-year-old like edgelord, like the loser shit on the internet. And this dude's like 25. He has like, I was wondering, like, how does he have all this stuff set up and all this stuff bought? I guess he's just living off the money his parents made. Like, it's his parents' house. He works at a fucking cellular store. There's no way he gets paid that much to afford all that shit.
I'm thinking if he's a network admin, maybe he makes like 6 figures.
I don't even think so. He works the front desk of a Verizon, basically. No shade to any of these people who work that job, but there's no way that dude has all that from that. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, no, I'm a hater.
I'm thinking that's the district office, and he's just.
Okay, yeah. He's running the networks of all of Jacksonville, apparently, wherever this takes place, Tallahassee, somewhere in Florida.
It's every time I reflect about this movie, there's no part of it where I'm like I scored this movie so low. I have so many criticisms. I just think there's like the movie is something that I significantly would enjoy more if they hid the killer from us for most of the movie, and it was a internal and external struggle for the protagonist to determine whether or not these Faces of Death videos were real, because that was the intention of the original movie, right? So Barbie's character, the audience should have been like on the fence about if this stuff is real, and Barbie should have basically tanked most of her life trying to prove if it was real or not. And then obviously you figure out maybe like last, because like imagine if instead of watching him find the IP addresses of his victims and stuff, one day he just shows up in costume and kidnaps her. You'd be like, oh, like, no prior anything, like just straight up comes up out of nowhere. That would have been a little bit better, and then sets her up in one of the traps. Also, like the fight scene between them at the end, that was pretty good. I'll be honest, like that. I think that was my one scene in like the last 20 minutes that I didn't hate. Was it did look like two people really fighting for their life, like just clamoring for anything, putting forth 120%. I thought that was pretty good.
Literally. Yeah, just like the grabbing of stuff. I felt like they set up like it was 2 Chekhovs to me. It was like Chekhov's like. I don't know what you would call it. It's like the spike that he slid like the mannequins on, and that's like the thing that she stabs with like at the end. And then Chekhov's Narcan as well. I feel like there was like mentions of Narcan. Why does she block the use of a Narcan? Like I feel like those are TikTok videos. People make TikTok videos about that. Like, oh, this is how you properly use Narcan, and she's like, block drug use. I was like, okay,
that is so funny.
Gets it later on, for the fentanyl.
I think so. 2 things about that. One, I'm going to comment on her blocking it. That was extremely accurate. Another example of someone who's chronically online recognizing game, because that has definitely happened to some of our content before, where it gets flagged for something like that. It remotely doesn't make any sense.
It's like drug use.
Yeah, or like for example, on another TikTok page, you maybe like your private social media. I've posted something about food before, right? And mind you, I was at a bar, right? The bar has an official social media account. When I posted a video about my experience at the bar, they flagged the video and took it down for promoting controlled substance uses. the bar has an official TikTok where they market. That was just
wait, the bar does really?
That's what I'm saying. So they have an entire account where they post about their business. I made a video talking about I enjoy the food and drinks, and they were like, take it down. So that was a really good like thing of them just like ignoring context and just, you know, so
yeah. Do you think it's like realistic that people just like, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like, I'm sure all these posts that she's been going through are like user reported of like, you know, violence, or maybe it's like AI and like system automated stuff too. But yeah, do you think people actually just go through these like constantly, just like clicking boom, 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 like just verifying? Really, that's like a whole job.
Yep. I think some of it obviously like there's probably some kind of detection software that like flags certain videos and sends them for review by a real person, but absolutely it is. Yeah. Because when that video got striked, I like had to talk to a content moderator. Also, there have been many controversies online about companies who are hired to moderate AI content and the horrible things it generates that for them to look at or to read. Yeah. So it's 100% a job for sure, especially right now, and everybody's training AI models and stuff. But it's crazy to think, like, imagine just sitting there all day, just having to see the worst of humanity, literally doom scrolling only cursed content.
Yeah, and it's like, it doesn't sound like a fun thing, but she's like condemned herself to this fate because like her past and all that, the train scene, their sister.
That's the other thing is like she becomes like the Captain America of social media, which is like, you know,
internet warrior.
Which sounds kind of like, you know, justifiable, but then when you realize that it concluded with a physical fight between her and the manifestation of the social media killings, you're like, we really went this direction.
Yeah, it was something, man. Like just her going back to the house was just like, didn't tell no cops, just did it by herself. Like she could have just died and then nothing would have happened. I just love when she was like in the taxi, she was just sniffing that Narcan. She was like,
yeah. Also, that's not how, I don't think that's how Narcan works.
I don't think that's how it works. You can't pre-apply it, I don't think, and then do fentanyl. They wouldn't do it. Like it's still in your system.
Her building a fentanyl immunity, by the way. Like there's someone who's going to see this movie that they're going to think that's how it works. They're 100% like, yeah. But that is so funny to me. Like that, I'm telling you, the iconography of the villain is a fucking fentanyl gun. So her just
yeah, like also I'm like, as soon as I learned it was fentanyl, I was like, is this like realistic? Do people knock each other out with fentanyl? Like, you know, it'd be like something like, I don't even know, ketamine, like back in the day, you know, back when we was actually, you know, actually kidnapping people the right way. Are people using fentanyl now?
The right
way. Is that a thing?
I'll be honest, most likely, because I think it is some kind of sedative. Obviously, we're not medical professionals or have any expertise in the matter, but I think it is like a sedative / painkiller, just like ketamine or morphine and stuff like that. So,
okay, I just like when I heard it, I was like, it just didn't seem like that's what people use. Like, it doesn't seem very easily obtainable.
Also, plus, if you ever seen someone who used fentanyl, that shit definitely works. Like they're out of.
Oh yeah, yes, I know. Yeah. Oh, wait, so. Why wasn't Barbie hitting that fent pole or something? Like everybody just knocked to the ground. There was no. Why isn't there no fent pole? Does that make it easier for them to carry? You know?
Yeah. Instead of falling to the ground, you just wanted them to be like.
Just slowly, just.
Yeah, that would have been.
Yeah.
I don't think they were fixating on like the inner machinations of a fentanyl user here, but.
One more thing. Can we talk about this movie? Was just not scary to me. Like almost in no way. Like all the scenes with him, because like I guess because I how goof, like I keep on saying goofy because that's the only thing I can like imagine when I think about reviewing this film. It's just unserious. It just him how he looks is unserious every single time, every scene he's in, especially like all of, like the kidnap scenes. I just can't take the dude seriously. Even like when Margot's roommate is killed, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, GG's, bro. Like, well, like he's gone, and then. I mean, I guess some scenes are just ominous, but not really. Like, I was not scared. Like, not at all. And I just feel like they kind of just missed the mark with that. How did you feel? Were you feel scared?
I didn't even notice that until you just said something. No, absolutely not. The most I was not scared ever, but the most unsettled I felt was when she was doom scrolling past the cursed content and the Faces of Death
Yeah.
videos were showing up because
Yes.
like they feel grainy, they feel a little real, and they're like
hmm
the origin isn't certain, and so that's what made them scary. The second you've got
Yeah.
bro cosplaying a mime on IG Live, I'm like, we've
hmm
murdered the movie. But yeah, not at all. Not scared. Not even thrilled. They didn't even do a good job at building tension. There's not a single point in this movie where I, one, don't know what's gonna happen next, and two, give a shit about the stakes of the film.
Yeah. Not at all. Like I don't know what they were doing, man. Like I don't know how you make a horror film and just not make somebody feel scared or just like even like a sense of like thrill. I guess it could have been like the kidnapping scene of like the just any of the kidnapping scenes. It could have possibly worked for somebody, not me, not you, but somebody, I guess. And then yeah, that's really it. I guess when she woke up in the basement, they're all tied up. That could be a little ominous, like we don't know where he is, but it also takes off like the goofiness because he's upstairs doing like the thing. It's like we were talking about earlier with the camera. Like it's just I can't be scared. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it just didn't do a good job.
the killer for Faces of Death was definitely doing the millennial Facebook
Oh yeah.
selfie pose where they were just like,
Mm-hmm. Y'all see this?
y'all see this?
This
Right, hold on.
yeah. This is what I do every day.
Yeah. Work hard, play harder. Yeah, bro. It was bad.
Yeah.
So did you have a note about the director? We've kind of come full circle here, but
Yes, full circle. The director Daniel Goldhaber.
okay.
I just clicked on this. Ooh, yeah. So 2018 American psychological horror film directed by him, aka Cam. This is the creator of Cam. Viewers, you might not know a lot when you hear the term Cam, but me and Starch here have a history of
I can't
Cam.
escape this movie's lore.
And you can't escape. And when I before we started recording, I just clicked on the director and I had a reactionary, like clutching my pearls, like it was
genuinely upset.
otherworldly, euphoric, you feeling that I could just share this information with you,
That's
and
actually
realize
incredible.
that the whole time
Yeah.
that we were not going to like this film,
That's
no
why
matter
this
what
movie
happened.
was completely dog shit. Why are they giving the person more money to make movies like this? Just ask them to do
Yeah.
something else. Okay, so for context, when I was in, like, man, this had to have been over 5 years ago. My friends and
Mhm.
I, we were all hanging out, and we couldn't figure out what movie to watch. And by this point, we were all quite irritable and disagreeable to one another. And so, in a frustrated, um, constant swiping on Netflix, somebody put on Cam, which no one wanted to see. No one
Mhm.
agreed to that. Cam got put on. And although there
Yeah.
was some argument amongst the crowd, since we were all frustrated with each other, I think I agreed to put on Cam just to spite some other people that were there. And so
Yes.
now we're watching Cam, which is, I think, a action horror thriller in some capacity. That
Psychological horror, yeah, like a
Yes.
Cam girl, and
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yep, it
Mhm.
follows a like basically an OnlyFans equivalent model, and it's like clickbaity and raunchy and all this. It's a complete garbage. It's one of those Netflix like those earlier Netflix
Original
movies.
film.
Yeah, that was just like out of this world bad. And yeah, so we were forced to experience that. We argued for like an hour and a half before like people just started going home, and
Mhm.
then I went on a tangent about it in the car to Slim.
Yeah, it was bad.
And I thought I would be able to
Unforgettable.
escape that fate. But now knowing that this person has found me, inevitable, where did it bring me? Back to him.
Back to him.
Yeah, so I guess we'll go through some of the classic parts of the show. So we'll do grave mistakes first because I feel like we already nod at most of the criticisms. So a decision that led to the utmost downfall for this character. What are you thinking?
I mean, we could just go. Obviously, you could say like the stupid mistake of like fucking around with trains. Trains are scary. We don't do that.
Yeah, you're right. That was so fucking dumb.
Yeah, like it just made me think of like a whole bunch of like train incidents that's happened on the internet. Like I think I've seen like a selfie of these three girls being like, "Yo, we're in front of a train," and like they all died because that's like the last picture that was taken of them because they get hit by a fucking train. So it just makes me think of all the dumb shit people do around trains. I don't understand. They're so dangerous. Like they can't stop that fast. Like I don't know why people can't realize this. It's just how it is. It's called fucking momentum.
Yeah, I've never once decided to tempt a train.
Right?
It's just like, also, what is exciting about the train that makes people go, I'm gonna fucking
Bro.
park right here in the
Dude.
middle of the train? Like, I'm just gonna
Thrill.
put my car in between the two barricades and wait for this light to turn green. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
Or
Just yeah. Go ahead.
trains coming 16 miles away, bung, 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 and you're just like, I'm staying right here for another 20
Yeah,
minutes.
hey, renegade. Yeah, no.
Yeah, and now parts of me are in the IHOP 2 blocks down. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Just my liver's on top of somebody's roof.
Train tempting is definitely a good one. I'm gonna go with hiring that guy to be the network admin. Who becomes a serial killer. Like,
no, Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the manager at the play. I was about to say he's the perfect manager. That's what the company wants.
Oh yeah.
But you're talking about the other guy. Yeah. You're right.
Because there's no way he didn't smell bad or something during the interview process. Like, there's something about him that like is a red flag. Like, is there no like, I don't know. I guess he'd be good at covering his tracks, but I wonder if people in the cybersecurity field or in stuff like that, is there some form of internet background check that you could do to figure out what this guy's been posting online? I don't know.
Yeah,
there's just got to be some kind of red flag with this guy.
Yeah, there's something. I would say just like also just like her not using like a VPN or anything. She should know. Like I was just thinking, like she's doing all this posting and just anybody can look it up. Like obviously the guy who's posting this stuff is on these subreddits, and as we see, like everything that she posts, he's like.
Remember, he embeds a like a tracker into.
Oh, the link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another really.
Yeah,
cool
he kind of. I didn't know you could do that, and that was really cool. Like, is that a real thing? I'm presuming
yes, it is. There is a website which I won't mention for people's safety that you can actually use to embed links. And here's what's scarier about it: the links actually still take you to the correct website, but
so you don't know.
You don't know, but it steals your information. So.
Oh man! So it like goes to it just sends it to like whatever, and like the link still pops up as like what Google.com, and you wouldn't ever like even know.
Correct. So you click it, it would take you either YouTube, Google, whatever, and then it would send all your jazz over to the
fascinating
to the center.
Okay. I'll look more into that.
Yeah, but great concept, bad performance. Representation Station sounds like you want to give it a like 0 out of 10.
I mean, the main character, I do like her. I mean, I knew from Euphoria. This is like the other thing. Besides, I think she's in Nope for like 2 seconds. Like this is the only thing that she's been in. Yeah, I would like to see more. I mean, I don't think she did like too bad. I think it's more of the writer's fault and the director who directed Cam that made this film's fault. It was just like I think for everybody because. From Decker or however his name is, Montgomery's character, like we know he can act, like you said before, like he's in Stranger Things, like one of the biggest films or biggest TV series on Netflix. Like we know he can act, and he's good at that. We know Barbie can act because of Euphoria. This is on the writing team and the directing team. They just did not make this work. I don't know how you can have such a good talent and just have such a flop.
And a good
concept. We didn't even talk about this. Yeah, a good concept. And then just flop. This movie, I think it cost like $7 million to make. Yeah, $7.4 million budget, and the box office was $3 million. I had to rent this shit. I feel like it was $10. I'm mad. I take my $10 back.
I could. The reason I had to see this movie at my house is no theater in my entire city had the movie. Not a single.
Oh, I think it had it when it first came out. It had it, yeah. Because I'm not sure how when it first came out when you go to the theater, like a couple weeks after it came out?
I tried to see it opening weekend. Not a single theater screened it here. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I had some, but I just didn't want to. I had I thought of going, but no. Yeah. Also, like Charlie XCX, like the pop star, she's in this movie. I didn't even notice.
Where?
Yeah. Yeah. I think when Barbie or Margot walks into like the place, like her job, and then she's the girl who's like looking at like the snuff films and oh, this shit's not real, haha. She's like long black hair, and she takes her phone and like throws it or something like that. That's her. I think she's smoking on top of the roof too. And she's like, "Do you want? Can I have your sandwich?"
Oh yeah, what a weird
Yeah.
cameo.
Why?
situation.
Yeah. Why is she doing this? It's just so random. Yeah. Then also, I guess representation station. We can do it for like the state. I enjoy that this takes place mainly in Louisiana. I enjoyed that. I feel like we don't really get into much. And when it said Louisiana, I was like, oh, okay. I guess we end up in Florida. You know obviously this is some Florida man activity, and he's a Florida man. But yeah, I was like Louisiana.
Okay.
Go Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd like to see Louisiana once again recurring as a
Mhm.
as a set in movies, as you know, we've kind of been
Yeah.
knocking some of those sets overseas, but it is nice to see Louisiana back in the game. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'll give it like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. It wasn't
I
too
think I'm five. I'm 5 out of 5 with you. Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't incredibly offensive that I can remember, but it
Hmm.
wasn't like, oh my gosh, they're the cutting edge when it comes to representation in movies. Yeah, a sequel possibility. This is gonna be my favorite segment right now for this movie.
Equal possibility. Yeah. So they do like this meta thing where they talk about like a what is he talking like sequels? Is he talking about sequels? And this is the sequel to Faces of Death, but
Yeah.
like it's kind of meta because he's like, oh, I love Faces of Death. Like, I know,
Yeah.
no,
No, you don't.
yeah. As long as Daniel Goldhaber is not working on this, sure. If he is, no, I
Yeah.
don't want no more of this. No, this
I
is
think-
lost.
I think we just do the entire movie again as a third movie.
Hmm.
And,
And we can stop here.
and here's where it gets ironic.
Hmm.
Like, but they're recreating the first movie.
Hmm.
I don't. It's hard to figure out where I'm going with this, but yeah, they're just
Yeah,
they're just doing this exact same thing again with different
Mhm.
people, and then we just rewatch the same exact movie.
Yeah, no. So obviously this is a no. I don't want this. This is trash, garbage. I want to like an original Faces of Death. If they want to do like some like documentary like style, like the original, sure. I haven't watched it. I'd be more interested in wherever this was.
Was there a cool needle drop in this movie? For some reason, I feel like there was a cool needle drop. There's a song at some point that played in one of the scenes that I was like, "Oh, I'm into this," but I can't remember. what it was.
Forgettable. I just watched it. Forgettable. I don't know what to say.
Okay, so in general, what was your letterbox score out of 5?
I was thinking, because we gave Scary Movie 2.5. I think that was fair. Can we? Can I go lower?
You can go wherever you
I
want.
laugh. I think I'm gonna go 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 2.
I feel like 2 might even be too high, which is an insane
Wow.
thing to say.
I'll stick with 2. But what are you feeling?
I put 2, but after talking about this, I once again want to go lower. Like, I put the conflict was passionate and the performance were full of effort, but the dialogue was unremarkable. The Psycho Killer is inspired by the movie that comes before it. Is a cool concept, but lacks an interesting antagonist. I was disappointed in the shallow relationships and one-dimensional characters. I find criticism of attention as currency to be very relevant, though. So, actually, I'll keep it at a 2 for the concept, but everything else besides that, egregious. So,
Yeah, I just didn't. I enjoyed the first half when there was like some mysterious about it, but once it got into, yeah, I couldn't. Just no.
okay, so is this the worst horror movie we've seen this year?
We reviewed, yeah, I think so.
Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you guys for listening. I actually do encourage everyone to maybe check out the original Faces of Death, or maybe this movie if you want to do it for. I wouldn't pay. I paid for it. I wouldn't pay for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay for it.
But yeah, that's where we're at. So thank you guys for listening as always, and please engage with the content. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.